and relaxed, looks focused, but believe me, he's in for a tough night tonight with Malik Jabir.
Steady, solid progress for Docherty was rewarded in April when his calculated pressure ripped the Commonwealth title off Dean Piffy. And he's carrying the flag for Scotland tonight. Huge amounts of confidence and self-belief. He's brought a fairly decent-sized team with him too. Been based over here for a while in Britain. He can punch, and he wants this Commonwealth title. Look at this.
Supervisor in charge, Mr. Charlie Giles of Birmingham. Our timekeeper at the bell, appointed by the Scottish Area Council, is Mr. Jim Russell, and our referee in charge of the action from Gillingham, Kent, is Mr. Ian John Lewis. They were the officials. Here are the contestants. Firstly, and introducing to you the challenger. He's fighting out of the red corner, wearing the yellow trunks trimmed with green and red, weighing in at 9 stone, 2.5 pounds. 11 fight record, 9 wins, 7 inside the scheduled distance, 2 losses. He is the #1 challenger. He is the reigning African featherweight champion. Ladies and gentlemen, from the fighting village of Bukom, Ghana, West Africa, where he is known as the Bukom Snake, Abdul Malik Jabir. And now the champion. He's fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the light blue trunks, trimmed with silver, weighing in at 9 stone, 3 pounds and 12 ounces. He brings an 18 fight record, 16 wins, 7 inside the scheduled distance, 1 loss, 1 draw. He is the reigning and defending Commonwealth Super Featherweight champion from Glasgow, hot property, Craig Docherty. So let's get the action underway, then 12 rounds of boxing for the Commonwealth Super Featherweight Championship. Here we go.
I am the referee. I spoke to you both in the dressing rooms. Obey my command at all times. You both know the rules. Watch the heads, kick the punches up. When I shout break, you break clean. And remember, defend yourself at all times. Shake hands.
The well-schooled, stand-up, old-fashioned style of Craig Docherty against this unknown quantity. But he will have mental and physical strength from where he comes from. Look how up for it they both are, especially Jabir, who's rushed out into the centre of the ring to take control. First defence of Docherty's 9 stone 4 title. Jabir has sparred with Michael Brodie before Brodie's fights with Juan Cabrera and Injin Chi, and the Manchester featherweight says he is very, very good. And look at that's a cut already by the left eye of Craig Docherty. It's a disastrous start for the champion. Oh, look at the power of this Jabir. Docherty tries to meet fire with fire, but he fought the wrong fight when he took on Michael Gomez. Docherty, he's got to be so careful here.
Yeah, he's got to tuck up tight here, Docherty. Box on the outside. Jabir is known to be strong, but reported to be very, very dangerous for 5 or 6 rounds here, as he's proving.
Look at the face already of Docherty. It's a flying start from the man from Accra. In the Ghanaian colours. This is already looking a very, very hard assignment.
Yeah, Jabir seems a very stiff hitter indeed. Carries a lot of weight in that right hand as well. Docherty's got to keep that left hand up. Disastrous start here for Docherty.
Also, Jabir has seen a tape of Docherty, and the Scotsman has not seen one of the African. Docherty cut inside 30 seconds of the first round. but he's trying to regain his coolness. He's a sensible lad, Craig Docherty. He's got to be here.
Well, the one thing he learned from the Gomez fight is not to rush in. He done that against Gomez and paid the price. He's doing the right thing here, just keeping nice and tight. Jabir's looking dangerous, taking the centre of the ring here in the opening round.
He admits he made a complete hash of his British challenge against Michael Gomez, electing not to box on the outside, but going to war. Look at that uppercut and body shots from Jabir, who looks so strong.
Yeah, lovely uppercut right on the left eye there of Docherty.
Benny King, experienced cutsman in Docherty's corner, getting all the bits and pieces ready. He will rush in as Jabir is bundled to the floor. Fiery start from the African challenger, but Docherty hasn't panicked, and that may be a good sign. Benny King goes to work. How bad is that cut?
Focus, don't lose your cool.
Yeah, it's in a bad place here. Right across the eyelid. Blood can flow into the eye, so that's not in a good place there. If that worsens, that could be trouble for Docherty. Let's take a look at where we think it happened. Again, maybe the work off that little jab, then did we see it opening up there? I don't know, there was some good right hands going in as well.
Slashed in the first round from that right hand from Abdul Malik Jabir, the Bukom snake in fight number 12, the 23-year-old who comes to try and rip this Commonwealth belt off Craig Docherty and make it, oh, such a hard few months for the Scottish fighters. Remember, Scott Harrison lost his world featherweight title to Manuel Medina. Alex Arthur was crushed in an epic last week, beaten by the underdog Michael Gomez, who fought the fight of his life. And now Craig Docherty has got to keep out this African, who can obviously punch and is tricky and awkward. But can he last? We don't know.
Well, he has to be careful of Jabir's right hand. That is the danger punch from Jabir, and Docherty's carrying that left hand worryingly low. Needs to pick that left hand up, start rolling and creating openings for himself. Jabir looking dangerous with that right hand.
Word from the corner, Benny King is confident that the cut is not a problem, that he can control it. Docherty's just got to get on with his boxing. He was an excellent amateur, and he's done everything right in his career, bar the blip against Gomez. Just got to believe that if he can weather the storm, he has the tools to get this one done. Height and reach advantages to Jabir, but he can be caught himself. Docherty, not a big puncher, likes to work the body, and that may be key.
Some heavy-looking right hands going in again from Jabir. But Docherty doing the right thing here, keeping nice and tight. The blood again flowing in that eye, though.
Yes, he dabs it, Spencer, just as you said that, causing him grief. That's a good combination. One thing Craig Docherty is sensible. He will know that he's got to tuck up now.
This is better work from Docherty now, getting off with those left hooks. Jabir leaving himself wide open.
It's a gangly, unorthodox style, even though he's got an orthodox stance, the African. Michael Brodie was telling me that even when he was hurt in their sparring sessions, he just hit his gloves together and came back like he hadn't been hurt at all. He said he thought he was made of concrete.
A very good assessment there from Michael Brodie. But another good round there for Jabir.
Tough night's work for hot property Craig Docherty.
There we can see the heads going dangerously close together again. Docherty coming off the worst of the two, and that eye really bleeding heavily.
Third round. It's the blue and silver colours of the champion from just round the corner in Bella Houston. Mum Sandra in the audience, raised by her and his grandmother, Craig Docherty. Up against this, Abdul Malik Jabir, who's a year younger and less experienced, but he looks like he can really fight.
Again going to work with the right hand, Jabir. And Docherty's eye already opened up and bleeding again.
Maybe another cut actually just underneath the first one on the cheek. There's also a cloth with blood on it just in the corner, which has been left there. Really damaged already, Docherty, and there's a long, long way to go. Oh, look at him, come on, Jabir. That's better from Docherty.
Yeah, that eye certainly seems to have worsened there. Bleeding really heavily now. Good left hooks from Docherty, doesn't seem to have phased him at all.
Jabir hoping to emulate friend James Armour, the Bukom Fire, who came over and beat Charles Shepherd for this title.
As I said, I've been over to Bukom, and believe me, all those fighters that we see, anytime you hear a fighter coming from Bukom in Accra, you know you're in for a tough night, as proven here for Craig Docherty.
Yes, they spar on the pavements and they train at night by candlelight. It's a hard way of life, and look at that eye now of Craig Docherty. That is an absolutely terrible mess, and he has to take a left hook as well on the chin. And I wonder if Ian John Lewis is going to have a look at that eye. It looks horrible to me.
Yeah, surely Ian John Lewis has got to take a look at that too. Bleeding so badly, blood flowing into the eye, affecting the vision. And this is worrying times here for Docherty.
Ian John Lewis is going to have a look at it. That's the right decision. It's bleeding furiously and feverishly. Tommy Gilmore's in there. Benny King wants to work on it.
He'll look at it. He can control it. He can control it. He'll control it.
Let's go.
Benny King says he can control it. Promoted Tommy Gilmore, desperate obviously for his man to get through this. Was that the right decision from Ian John Lewis?
Well, maybe influenced a little bit there by Tommy Gilmore, because I tell you, that is one bad cut. And surely he's not going to be able to see the 12th and final round with a cut like that. Benny King's got his work cut out in the corner. And Jabir piling on the pressure again here.
Jabir looks like he will not be denied, and he will be given so much confidence from the fact that the eye is so bad. Look at that. That's deep, very deep.
Well, that is one horrible cut, and possibly the worst place that a boxer could suffer from a cut, right across the eyelid there. That really is deep as well. Surely that won't be able to continue too much longer.
As soon as he steps back, you attack. Can you hear me? You attack when he steps back. Don't stop, I'm all right. No, you're not all right. Come on.
You attack when he steps back, says Benny King. As Ian John Lewis, who believes the fight can carry on. Tommy Gilmore still concerned, as Craig Docherty comes out for what may be another torrid round. The blood all over his shorts already. Now, Mick Williamson kept Ricky Hatton in his fight against Vince Phillips and against Jonathan Thaxton when he was cut in the first round. Managed to get through the 12. Can Benny King get Craig Docherty through this?
Well, Docherty must pick that left hand up, leave himself open to those long right hands from Jabir. Got to keep himself tight now, but getting caught by right hand again.
Oh, he's getting beaten up now, and the African corner are imploring their man to come in. Tommy Gilmore's on his feet. What another good fight here in Scotland.
Well, Jabir really going for it there, opening up with a cluster of punches. But Docherty, good signs here that he's coming back so strong and getting through some good punches of his own.
Wonderful right hand from Craig Docherty and a left hook, and now Jabir's hurt. Oh, we have another titanic struggle here north of the border.
Jabir in serious trouble in the corner there. Docherty getting through some solid shots.
He has been stopped once before, Jabir, in the first round of his professional debut, and suddenly looks very, very tired as Docherty comes on strong.
Well, what a turnaround here from Docherty, putting everything into this. Jabir pinned in the corner and looking desperately tired in there.
Toe to toe, crackling fourth round, just like we had in Edinburgh last weekend. And Jabir just throws a look out at his corner as he takes another on the chin.
Big left hook loaded from Docherty. Just seems to buckle the legs of Jabir again.
Sizzling heat inside the ring here at Bella Houston. Can Jabir get out of the corner? He's going to need to. His punches do not look like they have the effect that they did earlier on. How about his legs? I notice his legs are very thin.
I think his legs have betrayed him in there because he's had opportunities to get out of that corner but hasn't moved. The snake pinned in the corner. Docherty just piling on the pressure, but here Jabir could get out of the corner here, he could move away. It just seems content and staying in the corner.
Oh, a couple of games, flush on Jabir's chin. He looks so open defensively.
I think the legs have totally betrayed him here, Jabir.
Let's have a look at how he walks to the corner. He raises his hands. Docherty shouts to the crowd. What a 3 minutes there, tucked up in that neutral corner as Benny King works the eye again. But that will give the Scottish champion so much belief, surely, as Mum Sandra cannot bear to watch this. Oh, you've got to feel for her.
Well, what a contest we've got here, and Docherty by far having his best round. Here we see some of the work, the good left hook went in there from Docherty. Jabir seemed momentarily stunned, but then it was just a flurry of punches that just seemed to take everything out of Jabir.
10 seconds.
How will Malik Jabir respond to what was a torrid fourth for him, trapped in the corner? Is he fresh enough? The worries about stamina, will they come into play? And has Docherty got over the worst now? Good use of the jab.
Reports from London were that Jabir would be dangerous for the first half of the contest, and then we'd see him tire out. He seemed to be tired in that last round, and the snap doesn't seem to be there at the start of the 5th round here.
As the blood flows again from the left eye, but a good body shot from Docherty just makes Jabir wince ever so slightly. He's an open target, the African, as well as being wild and woolly.
Yeah, he's tall and rangy, but not much defence coming back from Jabir. And the snap does seem to have gone out of those punches. Docherty growing in confidence, coming forward, winging in those hooks to body and head. This is good signs here for Craig Docherty.
Docherty, who's trained for 7 weeks, run in the mornings, gym work at night. This will be a test of Malik Jabir's fitness and endurance on those hard streets of Accra, but he's taking too many himself, Jabir, and Docherty is winning control of this Commonwealth Super Featherweight Title fight.
Yeah, Docherty taking over here. He's just got to keep the press and hold on now, working well to the body and head. And Jabir looks spent at the moment.
Carefully picked right hand to the body and the left from Docherty. Got to watch those uppercuts as they wheeled in from Jabir, who when he's hurt still looks to have power. But now he's backed up in the other neutral corner.
Yeah, and he seems quite content on staying there, Jabir. Docherty's got his head on his chest, working that body, working that head.
That's a very composed performance so far from Craig Docherty. He might be down on the cards, but his punches are having far more of an effect. Who will last? Surely something has got to give. This was the round that Arthur crumbled last weekend, and at the moment the two of these are still going at each other and not giving an inch.
Well, Docherty looking the stronger of the two in there at the moment. Jabir looking in desperate trouble in the corner. Some of the good work here from Docherty, getting through with the lovely straight right hand.
Look at Tommy Gilmore, he's been on his feet for almost the entire fight. For 3 weeks in a row, we have had something pretty special. Brody Chi at the MEN, Arthur Gomez in Meadowbank, Edinburgh last weekend. What next? In this little sizzler, which at his own level for the Commonwealth Super Featherweight title is intriguing, interesting, and well, they're fighting their hearts out, the pair of them, again. Credit to boxing at the moment, Spencer.
Yeah, we've seen some classic fights over the last couple of weeks, and we're seeing another mini classic here.
From Docherty, but that just spurred Jabir on. It's his 19th fight, the Scotsman, and the 12th for Malik Jabir, but it is already looking the hardest night's work in both of their careers. Is it Docherty's accuracy and better use of shots that is giving him the edge now?
Well, what Docherty done so well was at the beginning of the opening round, kept himself nice and composed, didn't do anything stupid, didn't try and gamble, kept himself nice and tucked up. And Jabir seems to have blown himself out a little bit, and Docherty now coming on strong.
Destroyed by Michael Gomez in 2. He said he learned the lesson that night of not listening to people and not carrying out the plan. Well, this is evidence that he's as good as his word, because he has not got embroiled toe-to-toe unless he's felt he's on top.
Yeah, good mature performance here from Docherty, but that eye bleeding heavily again, and Jabir still letting go with those right hands.
How much has been taken out of the Bukom snake? Both look like they've been through 10 or 11 rounds already, and we're only in the 6th.
Yeah, well, they didn't hang about from the opening bell. Jabir come out firing, really loading up with that right hand. Now Docherty coming back so well. This really is turning into a mini classic here. And the big question mark, what happens next?
That's what we didn't know in the last 2 weekends. What happens next? That's what makes this sport so very, very exciting and fascinating for the crowds. Got his boxing together, Docherty. He's doing the better work. And the crowd are rallying. They want a Scottish victory. They need a Scottish victory. Will they get it? Mini mayhem completed. And let's have a look at the statistics. Well, it says that Jabir has thrown more, but the quality and the success almost double for Docherty. It's pretty level on the card, isn't it?
Well, it's certainly level on my card. Jabir starting so well for the first 3 rounds, but Docherty coming back so well. And I've got it all to play for here.
Second half, Commonwealth Super Featherweight Title, 9 stone 4 on the line. That is how Spencer has it. All level at this point. Ian John Lewis, the referee, scores. Remember, it's the Ghanaian colours of the man from Bukom in the suburbs of Accra on the west coast of Africa. The boxing hotbed of Ghana against the man from just round the corner here, Craig Docherty. Quiet, personable, and fighting for his very future. He's got a real chance, a real opportunity, as the Scottish stars have been beaten of late, and he wants to take that.
Well, the good thing is, Adam, that Docherty is now looking nice and solid in there. Jabir's the one that's looking a little bit flustered. Benny King doing a good job on that eye.
That right hand, though, from Jabir came out of nowhere. Tommy Gilmore had expected weird angles and punches from the African, and that's what we've seen. It's a strange performance, really, from Malik Jabir. An eccentric outside the ring, Howard Eastman-esque in his appearance. What we don't know is what he's like down the stretch. He has been 12 rounds before, but under this pressure and this quality from Docherty.
Well, Docherty really slipping into his rhythm nicely now. Just slowly and systematically breaking down Jabir. But the big question mark, will that high hold out? It's bleeding again quite heavily.
The eye that was slashed in the first round. Benny King has kept Craig Docherty in this fight. Still the odd success with the right from Jabir, but more from Docherty. Body shots. And this is the area of the fight that Craig Docherty got to Dean Pithy, started wearing him down with body shots before taking him out.
Well, this is good work from both guys here. Jabir working well off the ropes as well. Docherty got to be careful. He's loading up the shots, but Jabir does look dangerous as well. And a good round there. Good finish to the round from Docherty.
Can Jabir come on again?
Here we see some of the good work from both guys in that round, really trading blow for blow.
Benny King really giving Docherty a slap, pushing him in for action. This the round that he won the Commonwealth 9 stone 4 bout down at Bethnal Green in London with a Wonderful performance over Dean Pithy. Used to train Pithy, Spencer, and Docherty was great that night, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, because Pithy really was on a high. Boxing well, Pithy, before that contest. But just didn't seem to have it on the night, and Docherty took his chance with both hands.
Every so often, Malik Jabir puts a combination together that shows he's still got the ability to turn this around. Cuffing head punches from Jabir. Docherty with the centre of the ring now. That's vital for him.
With the eye again bleeding so heavily. And Jabir still loading up with that right hand. Docherty must work on getting that left side tight.
Snaps out the jab, the excellent amateur from Bella Houston. 125 and 34. And he's won 16 of his 18 in a pro ring. This is a good quality operator, Craig Docherty. He has not panicked. He's stuck to the job. He's got to be careful all the way through this. So far, he has been. Open to the right hand again, Jabir, isn't he?
Yeah, Docherty's looking the more solid of the two now. Mixing the shots up well, keeping them together. Nice and tight. Jabir starting to look a little bit ragged in there now.
Ragged, but rough. He's a replacement, really, Jabir. Eric Udamasi was meant to fight Docherty. They knew both of the Africans would be dangerous. Still don't quite know if Jabir's got enough in the tank to put a real mark on Docherty, because he's losing these middle rounds.
Well, this is what remains to be seen, what Jabir's got left, but getting through with a nice right hand again there. Little reminder to Docherty.
He does that every minute or two, doesn't he? Little cluster.
Yeah, just to let Docherty know he's still in this contest.
Let's get into the corner.
Craig, you've got to follow your punches in, son. Follow them on.
Follow along. Big breath. Big follow along. Follow along.
You've got to follow the shot, and you had to have a
They
big
wanted to
shot.
follow up there, Benny King, but look at that eye.
Yeah, the eye really bleeding badly. Docherty can do nothing in there with those long slashing right hands. He must work on picking that left hand up, because that eye is a real mess. Look at the state of that.
Jabir has the water thrown upon him, and Docherty has the Vaseline on the eye. He was saved really in the third round. The discussion between Tommy Gilmore, Ian John Lewis and Benny King, they have kept him in the fight. The champion. What can Malik Jabir do now to disrupt the rhythm? Well, he's going for these big shots with his huge reach.
They really are the danger punches, those big looping right hands, slashing right hands. That's why I say Docherty must start moving that head more, keeping that left hand up.
Tommy Gilmore's got good publicity for Craig Docherty on the back of Alex Arthur's defeat. Docherty, who sparred with Arthur before that. It's a really good chance for him if he can come through this. Again, he dabs at that left eye. He says something to Jabir in there. I'm okay, I'm all right. I can handle this, I think.
Yeah, he seems really up for it in there now, Docherty. Jabir, the man on the run, boxing on the retreat. Docherty looking the stronger of the two in there at the moment, but that eye still a worry.
Tommy Gilmore again on his feet. Oh, lovely right hand, picked beautifully by Craig Docherty. The Bukom snake, not so much slippery, but he is gangly, and my word, he comes from very, very peculiar angles. Oh, but Docherty now rocking the body of Jabir.
Yeah, Jabir just seemed to get his arm tied up in the rope there as he was letting one of those shots go. But Docherty again with the right hand there, getting through, and Jabir seemed on unsteady legs in there.
Oh, rocked back by the jab. Right eye puffed up as well of Abdul Malik Jabir. This is Craig Docherty's best round. This is where he's coming on strong. This is where his heart and desire and boxing are getting him through. And he's backed Jabir up in his own corner.
Yeah, nice boxing from Docherty, keeping himself nice and compact, working so well. And another good round there for Docherty.
Well, everybody wants to know what's happening. Pat Clinton, Ian McLeod with Craig.
Well, Pat, despite that terrible cut, Craig Docherty really boxing the fight of his life here.
He's boxing brilliant, actually, because I've got him ahead by 8 rounds to 1. He's doing very, very well. Even though he's hindered with a cut in his eye, he's boxing beautifully behind the jab. I would like to see him getting more into the corners and keeping him there and putting the pressure on him.
Ian, that cut, is it still a concern? At least it hasn't swollen up.
Yeah, it's still a concern, but he's coping really well under the pressure. He's nice and composed. Really professional, business-like performance he's putting in there tonight, and he's well in front at this stage.
And if anything, it seems that Jabir is the one that's wilting.
Yes, he is. He's still throwing lots of leather, but he's pretty wild, and a good defence from Craig.
Thanks, guys.
Ian McLeod, former holder of this title. Pat Clinton, of course, a WBO flyweight king about a decade ago. Great that they're with us. What drama left in the last 3 rounds. Craig Docherty in a handy lead now, but while Malik Jabir is still involved, Docherty must be oh so careful. Let's have a look at Spencer's card. Pat Clinton had it 8-1. You've got it a lot closer.
Yeah, I had Jabir winning the first 3 rounds quite comfortably. And then from there on in, it's been all Craig Docherty.
Snapping out the right hand as well, looking for knockout number 8, Malik Jabir. May not have the intensity and quality that last week's British Super Featherweight title fight had, but it's another good one, another good watch. And still, we don't know the outcome. I think we're feeling towards it now, but we don't know for sure.
Yeah, Docherty seems the more compact of the two at this stage. Seems to be systematically breaking Jabir down, but Jabir's still dangerous. But Docherty getting through with a lovely right hand there.
The right hand has given Jabir problems because his left glove has been so low. And a left hook over the top. Ian John Lewis has watched the heads again. Volume and quality from Docherty for me.
Yeah, Docherty boxing now with real intensity, putting the shots together so well, to body and head, nice and compact. I'm glad to see he kept his composure. A real professional performance this by Docherty.
Because it is a nasty, nasty cut. Blood leaking from it. It was actually spilled to our notes at ringside. And Docherty has kept his patience and his head, and he's thought about this, and he's winning this. Oh, peach of a right hand, just bounces off Jabir. Bit of tape loose on the left glove of Jabir, and John Lewis spots that. Tommy Gilmore complaining about the free use of Jabir's head as the atmosphere here really picks up as we get to the final stages of this good little Commonwealth 9-stone 4 fight. Lovely right hand. He's done that 3 or 4 times this round.
Yeah, the head movement's gone from Jabir here. Docherty getting success with that right hand. Look where the left hand is of Jabir, right down by his waist, and Docherty now taking over.
He's bundled down, but he looks fairly exhausted now, Jabir. He's been a sitting duck to those right hands. And Docherty is moving towards a successful first defence. John McDermott, Benny King, less words now. They're pleased with that man.
Yeah, and so they should be there. We see the lovely right hands going to work in the round from Docherty. Straight down the middle, no defence from Jabir. Good, solid performance now from Docherty in taking over. Kept to his game plan. And all seems to be coming together quite nicely.
Tommy Gilmore wiping his brow and drinking water at ringside. I think he thinks he's been in there as well.
Well, I think he certainly feels like he was. We see him in the earlier rounds, really up at the ringside, desperately wanting this fight to be continued.
He's very fond of Craig Docherty on a personal level, Tommy Gilmore. Feels he's done everything the right way. 6 minutes left. Can Malik Jabir find anything left in the arsenal, in the tank, that he's trained for on the streets of Bukom to upset the apple cart yet again here in Scotland and come on strong? He will try. Oh, Docherty slips, and Jabir puts a right hand in. When Docherty was down, he immediately put his glove out to apologise, but he is fortunate not to get a ticking off there.
Yeah, he's very fortunate not to get a point deducted there. Docherty was clearly on the floor. Ref just about to jump in. And look at the eye again now.
More blood streaming from the centre part of the eye. It's a real mess for Craig Docherty, but he won't mind so long as he can get through this and retain his belt.
Yeah, I feel very fortunate to get through these 12 rounds, because let me tell you, that cut is awful, and I think it has just worsened as well. The blood flowing freely into the eye.
Bit more concern in the African corner now. I think they realise this is slipping away. Their man probably needs a knockout.
Certainly on my card, Docherty comfortably ahead, but a massive right hand there. Docherty felt the weight of that one. To see the legs stiffen there.
He took it, but that is the warning sign that as long as this tough African is standing, there is a danger that it could all go wrong. He has to be as clever now, Docherty, as he's been since coming back from the cut in the first round.
Yeah, he doesn't want to take any chances now. Comfortably ahead, Docherty. Just keep nice and tight. Keep that left hand up.
Hard around this for Docherty. Good few punches landing from Malik Jabir. Again, he damns the eye. Again, Jabir throws almost from his boots some of these shots.
Yeah, really looping those right hands over. trying to box on the outside here, trying to lure Docherty in, trying to put him into one of those big right hands.
Good one from Docherty just before the bell. And Jabir's got his hands up in the other corner. But he's going to need a knockout. On your card, definitely.
Certainly on my card, he had a good round there, Jabir. But hadn't won a round really from me from the third round. If we look at the total punches landed there, Docherty 287 to Jabir's 162.
Let's have a look. 12 rounds, scheduled twice for Docherty, 4 times for Jabir, and completed never for Docherty, furthest he's ever been. Jabir has been through them before at a super bantamweight and bantamweight level, but this is up at super featherweight, and it's been very, very hard for both fighters.
Oh, it has been a real tough, grueling contest in there.
Have shown a great deal of guts and spirit and intensity. Docherty needs to keep his gloves high, keep that jab pumping, and not do anything silly. Malik Jabir has to go for broke.
Yeah, Docherty got to be careful here. Can't afford to take any chances. Jabir so dangerous with that right hand.
Docherty, the only Scottish champion at the moment, aiming to hang on to that belt and cash in, as he said earlier, on the misfortune of Arthur and Harrison. Remember, Harrison has got the rematch against Manuel Medina at the end of the month. 29th, don't miss that one. And like Ricky Hatton was cut in his British title fight against John Thaxton and in his big test against Vince Phillips inside the first round, Docherty as well, and he's made it through to the end. Who'd have thought that?
No one would have thought that. If you see the cut in the first round has gradually got worse. Benny King doing a good job in the corner. Benny King, of course, one of the best cuts men in the country at the moment.
Will be buying Benny King a large Jack Daniels after this. But still, Jabir throws and tries. He's probably done everything he knows as well. He's been hard and tough, but he's been too easy to hit. And maybe a touch inexperienced. It's Docherty's better makeup, his better punch variety, that have seen him not cruise, but win through these 12 rounds. Of course, the decision does remain with Ian John Lewis. We've seen 1 or 2 controversial ones in recent times, but the feeling very much around ringside is that Craig Docherty has boxed a very, very polished performance.
This is good from Docherty here in the 12th and final round, really trying to pile the pressure on, trying to catch the referee's eye for this final round. No doubt in my mind, Docherty's done enough to win this one. Good performance, quality little fight.
He's closed the show well, Craig Docherty. And it's a happy night north of the border. Docherty retains his Commonwealth Super Featherweight title. And look how pleased Tommy Gilmore and his mum, smiling at ringside Sandra. It's a fabulous night for Craig Docherty and for Scottish boxing on the Halloween weekend. There is no more nightmares for the Scottish fight fans. They can enjoy this. Tommy Gilmore looks exhausted as well as this man, Malik Jabir, and take your hat off to him as well, Spencer.
Oh, Jabir really did put in a tremendous performance, and so did Tommy Gilmore.
Ladies Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 sensational rounds of boxing, referee Ian John Lewis has scored this contest. For Jabir, 113 points. For Docherty, 117 points. Your winner, and still the Commonwealth Super Featherweight Champion from the beautiful city of Glasgow, Scotland, it's top property, Craig Docherty.
He wins it 7-3 by 4 rounds. Great night for Craig Docherty and family.
Craig, a true Braveheart performance. You just weren't going to let that title go, were you?
No chance. I got a bit disheartened in the first round. I wouldn't say disheartened, but it affected me, the cut. I couldn't see it with my eye. I should have been caught with stupid shots. I wasn't seeing the angles properly. But I could have boxed much better, and I wish I'd put on a wee bit of better show for yous. But, you know, I'm glad to have kept the belt, you know, with convincing points when I felt I was ahead all the time.
Did you think at any point you were close to being pulled out? How difficult was it to box with that cut?
I couldn't see it at all. I just couldn't see the rights coming. Even the jab sometimes, you know, I'm side on. But, you know, I just wasn't letting it go, and I'm well chuffed that I'm still the champ and here to make more bread.
Well, Sky Sports has brought us some tremendous fights over the last few weeks, and that was another one, Ken. But it did look as though Scotland was going to lose its third champion very quickly there.
I thought it was going to be stopped after a couple of rounds, like, you know, because it was a deep cut. You could see that. But I mean, that's the best I've seen Craig boxing yet, ever. You know, his heart was there, all right.
And really, the cut was caused by a good punch.
Yeah, it was a punch. You could see it was a right hand over the top, just caught her and burst it, like, you know. Just unfortunately, maybe there wasn't enough Vaseline on the eye there. You're not good in that.
Possibly, yeah. Maybe an old wound opened up there, Kevin. But do you think it affected the way the fight went?
Well, as Craig said, it affected him initially, but it may also have affected the opponent, because Jabir, he was looking for one way to win the fight. He looked ragged, didn't he, and lacked a little bit of discipline. Inexperienced fighter, that may have been a factor too. He's only his 12th fight.
That cut is, you know, it's tremendous bleeding.
He's seen a way to win right there, isn't he? He's seen a way to win. He just tried to find him that looping right for the rest of the fight and kind of blew himself out of it.
He lost that much blood. I don't know, maybe I have to go and get a blood transplant. Transfusion, anyway.
Brilliant work by Docherty, though, to work his way back into the fight, because it must have affected him.
All the time. I mean, he was fighting like as if there was nothing wrong with his eye.
It's worth making the point that Derek Gaynor cut at that point.
Yes.
You know, he ducked first sight of blood. Look at this fella, first round, and then managed to fight superbly after that. Great effort from Benny King as well. Stand by me, not much.
Benny was brilliant.
Exactly, it was a really, really bad fight, but a brilliant comeback. And his boxing was very good. He kept the boxing. He said he couldn't see, but his boxing, he stuck to it.
He got better and better. Maybe he should get cut every fight. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll speak to him when I go home.
But, I mean, the British, you look at them, I mean, Gomez is looking elsewhere now after that brilliant performance last week. But Alex Arthur, bit of a Scottish Glasgow Edinburgh matchup.
Well, that would be a terrific fight. Do you think Arthur's ready to go straight back into that sort of fight?
No. I've told Alec to go away and, you know, enjoy himself. Go away for boxing, leave it for this year anyway. Maybe say February next year, have a fight. You know, February, March. You could fight Craig. There's no problem there.
2 years ago, Docherty lost exactly to Gomez, second round, heavy defeat. Came back 2 years later.
And how do you see the likes of, say, Willie Limond, Kevin Lear?
Well, you've got to say at domestic level, he looks good. And that's both great matchups, aren't they? You wouldn't want to say too much about going forward beyond that, but at this level, looks in great shape. That was a very good performance.
Thanks for that. Well, there you are, a good